Hello everybody, thank you very much for joining me today for another Twilight Zone video in my Twilight Zone ranking series where I rank every episode of the original Twilight Zone from my least favorite to my favorite. Today I'm going to be talking about number 5 on Thursday We Leave for Home, written by Rod Serling and directed by Buzz Kulik. This is a season 4 hour-long episode, and as always there will be spoilers. So some Twilight Zone fans might be surprised that I have an hour-long episode on Thursday We Leave for Home in the top 5. But I honestly believe this episode is a masterpiece. When I first watched this episode, it affected me like few others. I think the ending in some ways is one of Twilight Zone's greatest. It does what the best episodes do, in my opinion, and that's that it's entertaining and thought-provoking at the same time. It's a great character study with some sci-fi elements thrown in, and features one of the greatest Twilight Zone performances by James Whitmore. I actually think it may be one of the best performances, in my opinion, that I have seen on any TV show ever. The rest of the cast is solid as well, and Rod Serling's script, I think, is also one of his best. The direction and cinematography are also up to the usual Twilight Zone standard, and this episode has some very intense scenes, and the ending of it actually made me tired. I went to lay down after I first watched this episode. So this episode starts on a desert planet. We learn a group of people left Earth to get to this planet, trying to get away from the constant fighting and chaos on Earth. This planet is really hot and has 2 suns, which is interesting, and the group is really struggling. So they are waiting and hoping that someone from Earth comes to rescue them. We are also introduced to Captain Benteen, who is the group's leader. You can tell he's well respected and that he has kept the group going through a lot of obstacles, including meteor showers. One of the group's members does themselves in a pretty disturbing scene, and the group experiences yet another meteor shower. They are really struggling. Morale seems low, and the episode does a really great job of showing this group's struggles. So Benteen talks to the group and tells them stories of Earth. You can tell the group is listening to every word. This is giving them hope, and James Whitmore is great in this scene. It has some impact for sure. At this point, a ship from Earth does arrive, led by a man named Sloan. The group is excited, but Sloan and Benteen don't really see eye to eye on things at all. So you can tell at this point that Benteen is starting to lose his control on the group, as Sloan's stories of Earth and what it is like now excite them very much. They even play a baseball game until Benteen, who is against it, tells them to stop. Sloan and Benteen continue to argue, but Sloan gives in and says Benteen can stay in power until they leave for Earth. So Benteen talks to the group and wants them all to stay together when they reach Earth, but the group has other ideas and wants to split up and go their own way, which upsets Benteen greatly. So Benteen slams Sloan for his influence, but Sloan says he has brought them free will, basically. This is a very interesting and well-acted scene, so much to think about in this scene and in this episode. Benteen tries one last time to convince everyone to stay together, but the group is not having it and agrees to leave with Sloan and go their own way. So Benteen stubbornly refuses to leave with the group and says he will stay on this planet by himself if he has to. He even tries to attack the rescue ship at one point. So eventually the group does leave, and after they take off, we get a scene of Benteen all alone. And in one of my favorite Twilight Zone scenes ever, Benteen tells another story about the Earth, but no one is around to listen to him. James Whitmore is incredible here. He realizes he made a big mistake and wants to go back to Earth, but it's too late and he's all alone. And all I can say is, wow, incredible, what an episode. The impact of this last scene has always stayed with me. I mean, Benteen did keep the group going and probably started with good intentions, but he let the power go to his head and let his stubbornness and pride get in the way and couldn't adapt to being in full control, and he realized it too late. A great, complex character, which are the best kind on the Twilight Zone, in my opinion. What a great message. I think this episode says some great things about what it really means to be a leader and how that should be handled. Overall, on Thursday We Leave for Home is a very thought-provoking episode with great writing and directing. It's also a well-paced hour-long episode. I think the production design and sense of despair throughout that the group has is great as well. Honestly, though, James Whitmore makes this episode. It's my favorite Twilight Zone performance, and I really do believe that this is a top 10 episode. That's why on Thursday We Leave for Home comes in at number 5 on the list. One of my all-time favorites. So as always, feel free to let me know what you thought of this episode on Thursday We Leave for Home. Thank you very much for your continued support, and thanks for watching.